The marketing for the new horror film UMMA was non-existent. I found out about this film on Twitter from a post Sandra Oh shared. Here's my spoiler-free review of UMMA. I realized after seeing this film why there wasn't a marketing budget. The demographic for a film with this subject matter and a PG-13 horror film is difficult to capture right now. I think the deep messaging in this film would resonate more with Gen X. A film like this could have benefited financially going straight to streaming. So UMMA was written and directed by first-time feature filmmaker Iris K. Shim. It has a quick runtime of 84 minutes. Sandra Oh stars, and she's also the executive producer. So let's jump right in. Sandra Oh plays Amanda, a single mother and beekeeper with a fear of light powered by electricity. So she has electrophobia. She lives thousands of miles away from Korea, where her family remains and where her domineering mother lives. Amanda believes that this distance away from her mother will prevent her from becoming overbearing like her mother. So Amanda is raising her high school teenage daughter, Chrissy, played by Fievel Stewart. And her daughter doesn't know any of her family. Amanda's seemingly protecting her daughter from the whole family. And she's been protecting her for her entire life from her family. They are beekeepers who live on a remote farm and in the middle of nowhere, and they live off of the proceeds from the honey. A little backstory. When Amanda was a little girl, she survived a freak accident and subsequently developed an electrophobia. Metaphorically, she's stricken with fear of being overpowered. But her worst fear has already manifested. She suffocates Chrissy, her daughter, unconsciously. Isn't that always the way? Chrissy is afraid to tell Amanda that she wants to go away. Chrissy is afraid to tell her mother that she wants to go away from college. So she recruits a family friend to help her mail off or get college applications so she can apply. And she waits for the right time or waits for the opportunity to tell her mother that she wants to go away to college. And that has a lot of implications. We know without seeing it at this point in the film that Amanda is overbearing to her daughter unconsciously, to Chrissy. But Amanda eventually finds the packet and confronts her daughter. So we also learn that Amanda has a fear of abandonment. Even though she has abandoned her family in Korea, she has a fear that her daughter will eventually do just what she did and abandon her or abandon her mother. So one day, Amanda's uncle comes all the way from Korea, finds her, comes all the way from Korea, and delivers the ashes of Amanda's mother, because Amanda's mother has suddenly died. Amanda rejects the remains. She doesn't want anything to do with her mother. She still fears her even in death and believes that she can be conjured and still control her after death. But Uncle leaves them anyway. So Amanda stows away these ashes. She doesn't want Chrissy to find them. But one day Chrissy does, and it conjures the spirit of UMMA, Amanda's mother, and haunts both of them on this remote farm. Now, that's the basic premise. There are some powerful metaphors in this film. Amanda has fear of power. Amanda's fear of power. She's lived long enough in the dark. She believes that cowering in the dark keeps her safe. She doesn't see that she is a reflection of her mother. She can't see this, even though her worst fears are being played out as she raised her daughter. So the parenting she promised herself she would never be like her mom, she's already exhibiting. There are powerful axioms in this film as well. They keep bees and have to avoid being stung by the queen bee. That's a representation of UMMA. They raise hens and like mother hens are overprotective, so is Amanda and Amanda's mother, UMMA. She feared power, but the real fear was being overpowered by her mother, by parenting like her. But no matter how much she suppresses these traumas and anxiety, they are pathological patterns that are unavoidable. And more directly, this film speaks to the vicious cycle of generational curses, being stricken with the fear of becoming your mother. That's heavy messaging. And I just don't believe that there's a demo going to the theater for messages like this. And again, this horror film is rated PG-13. Sandra Oh is great in the film. She's great in everything. Of course she's great. But this should have gone straight to streaming. The messages are prominent without being preachy. But I just don't know who's going to the theater to see this. On a grading scale, I rate UMMA a C. It's a decent film. There are some jump scares, but they're not very scary because I don't even think that was the point. That's an afterthought in some ways. The point was showing these pathological patterns are so prevalent in our lives. But thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. I certainly appreciate you. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, peace. Thank you so much.